selecting a sample of size 100. That is what I want to demonstrate. So assuming I settle on this data set, the last one, movie budget and box office earnings, okay? And what do? I need to get this data into StatCrunch, assuming StatCrunch is my software for this project. And you can even use, more than one software. Do something in StatCrunch and do another in Excel, whatever gives you your results. So in StatCrunch, okay, I'm recording. So in StatCrunch, we already know how to get there. You get into the website. Now, because I don't have my data in yet and I want to get it there fresh, what I can do is click on my data. Okay, so click on my data. And so far, these are the data sets I have. Okay, and these are the ones we've used in this class up to this point. But to upload the very one that I want for this project, so I click on upload data set. Then one easier way to get the data set in will be to drag that file into this space. So this is the Excel file. I drag it into this space. So you see it loaded up. So you have the columns and then the observations in there. Now you need to check this side. First line as column name. Okay, so this should be checked. And then I click on upload. Right. So now my data set has been uploaded. Okay. So if I want to open this up, I just click on it. Then everything shows up. Okay. This video is recorded so you can play back later to see if you want to review the process. So I have all the observations in there. So assuming I close my StatCrunch, and then the next time I come back in, I just click on StatCrunch website, go to my data, then the data is there because it has been saved there. All right. Well then, remember that this is not, you're not supposed to use all the variables, all the observations and all the variables. So if I'm choosing 100 of the observations, and let's say some of the variables, what do? So this is the next step of choosing a sample of size 100. So to do that, you go to data, then sample. So data, sample, click on that. Now this is where you state the variables that are of interest to you. So I click on movie, and then remember how we select multiple variables. So you click, and then you hold down the Control or Command key. Then I'm also interested in, let's say, month, day, year, and let me just do it this way: month and year, then gross, domestic gross, and then worldwide gross. So with this selected, then I move to the next step: sample size. The sample size needs to be 100. Okay. Then the number of samples, 1. So you're taking just one sample of size 100. Okay. And sample with replacement, no, we don't check that. Sample all columns at one time, no. So you leave everything else looks good here. Now, because this is a group project and then all of you need to get the same result when you sample, right? We need to set the seed. Okay, so click on use fixed seed. And this is the way that when different people do research, they can get the same result. If you set the same seed, you get the same result. So what I want you to do is, for every group, let your seed be your group number. Okay, so assuming I'm in group 7, right, my seed will be 7. So that any other person in group 7 who does the same thing and uses the same seed will get the same sample. Okay, we should all have the same sample, so our results will be the same, okay, for people in a group. So let your seed be your group number. Then I click also on open in a new data table, right? So I have all this set up. I have my variable selected, sample size, use the seed, open in a new table, compute. So that gives me my sample. So when you scroll, you realize that the last column has it's the 100 observation. Okay, so there are 100 observations now, and that is what I'm supposed to use for my analysis. Okay, so you're not using the entire data set. You are taking a sample of size 100. Okay, so you can rename the columns, right? Because you realize that all the columns have sample date, sample movie, sample month. So you can rename it, just bring it back to movie, and then like rename everything, and also rename the file. So I can say movie budget. Subset or sample, right? So if you change the name, just click in any area in the worksheet, and you realize that we are told this new data set was saved to your data folder. Okay. So going forward, anytime you want to work on this project, this is the file you come to. So you don't go back to the master movie file or whatever data set you are using anymore. You just come to the sample. So assuming I'm working and then I just want to call it a day, close everything. Another day I come back to the StatCrunch website, my data, and then this is saved. Okay. That is saved. So there are several ways to, if you want to take the sample, it could be one person in a group taking the sample and sharing the file with everyone else, or everyone in the group does same using the same seed. Okay. Then you take it from there, you do your analysis, and then you have your results. Okay. And I think anytime you work, maybe you have a graph or something, and you want to keep that result, just copy it or save it and put it in a Word file. Okay, so anytime you run analysis, save it. I'm not sure if StatCrunch is able to keep those graphs for you. I can't say for now, but yeah, every time you do a graph or something, just keep the file so that later on you can look at it. So that is how you simple random sample in StatCrunch. Yes, the project is due at the end of the semester. So that is the last day of class, on the exam day. So by midnight of the exam day, yeah, you're going to submit that. That is on 19th. Okay, so I'll post the submission link on Blackboard later in the semester. Yeah. Okay. So I'm available if you have any question. Okay, you can reach out to me. Going forward, I may call for some meetings with the groups, right, to discuss what you are working on, and maybe hear from you why you are taking some of those variables. Okay. All right. And then, so if you have noticed, StatCrunch only does simple random sampling. The sampling I did right now is simple random sampling. Assuming a group wants to do stratified sampling or systematic sampling, any of those other types of sampling, you can't do that in StatCrunch. Okay, and I plan that by the weekend I'm going to make other videos available of doing that in Excel. So if that is of interest to you, yeah, I will make that data set up. I'll make those videos available. So there's a question: how do you save your progress in StatCrunch? I think when you have the file and then you have the data set saved, I would have to cross-check that, okay? Because I don't want to say something now and then that is not it. We've done some analysis in the past and it appears data set didn't quite save them. But we should be able to save results. Okay, let me see this. So let me just do the normal probability plot, QQ plot. Okay, then I click on save. Okay, so this has been saved to the view. So anytime you do a graph, you can click or you have a result, You click option save, then it saves. So let's see, if I close this, come back later, and I go to StatCrunch, save results. All right, I have it there. Okay, yeah, so I've never really had to save, but then I just realized, yeah, you can actually save your results. I tried to delete the word sample before each category and it did not save. Yeah, so one other thing to StatCrunch is, it's not like the best of stat softwares. There are more advanced ones there. So if you are trying to edit any header, I think immediately you begin to type, everything else goes away. Okay, so that is the disadvantage of it. You are not able to edit. You're not able to edit. Immediately you begin to type. Yeah, so just take note of that. So whatever the name is, you just have to pay attention to that and then put it there appropriately. And if you type, then it should save eventually. So with this now, this one has saved, right? The only thing is that you can't edit a letter. You have to type like from scratch. So I have to type again. Everything goes away. So maybe this shortcomings of StatCrunch may be a motivation for you to use Excel. Okay. I will really recommend that you try using Excel because it gives better results, honestly. All right. Welcome. Okay, so that's about it for the project. Some of the things I want to talk about.